Lead doesn't know race, it doesn't know gender, it doesn't know income. Simply put, the toxic legacy of lead is so strong, kids in Baltimore are still being poisoned today.
I have been living with this poison for as long as I can remember. I have not known how this poison has affected me for as long as I can remember. I've never ever received any education behind a poison that's supposed to be killing me.
When you have lead and you're younger, it's tougher to deal with it because it's hard to think. You do your actions and then you think later. My childhood was corrupted and my childhood was taken from me.
We know that lead is a form of environmental racism. We know that it has impacted generations of people. That should be something that is on the forefront.
Lead poisoning is a root cause. If you get rid of lead, you can address a whole lot of issues.
If you know it's a problem and you have some type of power and you choose to remain silent, you're a part of that problem.
The quote is, if you ask people who live here, Black people, is that everybody has lead.
So I'm gonna say this.
I am a guy from a place. Charm City Bipper. Am I recording? I am. Marquis is the name my mother gave me. I'm also Quis The Vndl. I'm also my favorite person. And a lot of people say, I'm sorry. I'm just grateful to be here. I am with an individual who has a publishing house.
I do.
Who is a self-starter, was once an educator, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Birthday was recent. She's born in the same sun sign as me.
Pisces.
I don't want to say too much specific. I ain't claiming it for sure. 'Cause, I don't know what y'all think about me after I say that. Who the individual who is from my city, making waves, not waiting for change, being the change that they want to see. And like I said, I'm grateful to be here. She put me onto this because I wasn't going. What's this? Is what I said. And now I'm here and I'm taking it all in. And I'm like, yo. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you can't be too loud. Yeah,
excuse me to the dogs and the people that got yoga classes right now.
Yeah, Pilates.
I teach yoga, so that's an interesting thing.
This is his area, actually.
Yeah, I could flow right into this, but I had to change the outfit. I can't come in my ski mask. So no, I don't have a ski mask. We got to stop the ski mask, brothers. I don't know what has got y'all in the ski mask chokehold. I see dudes who don't want to do robberies. One of my students told me he wears it for his hair. I said,
what is it doing to his hair?
That's what I said. He said, it compacts my hair. I said, what?
So he has to wear the full body and not just a do-rag.
I was like, where's the full logic? It's like missing.
I think it's nice to look dangerous.
That's the part.
Yeah.
But it's like, you dangerous and you look dangerous, but you're not.
Yeah.
Because you talk to him, he's like 12. Yeah. He's a 12. He's a child.
He would scare me though, probably, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's not too far from my height. He's 12 again. Skinny body.
Yeah.
Covered up enough that you think he has tats. Like all of these perceptions, all of these judgments that form. Like imagine him just walking through here with all these hoity-toities. Yeah.
Scary, honestly.
Their doors are getting locked. They got codes on the bathroom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm locking my car doors. Yeah.
And it's sad that people find that statement problematic, but it's honest. And I like truth. I don't like halfway truth. I don't like, I'm not scared of that. No, it's a very scary sight in the middle of the night. It's scary in the hood.
It is.
It's scary in the suburbs.
It is.
Like, what we talking about?
It really is. Like, it's not really stereotype. It's just it's a scary look. You know what I mean?
And then we're like, protect Black women, but we're telling the young boys they can wear that. So as a Black woman from my city, we just shared that we both from spaces that ain't this one.
Yeah, no,
so
not at all. Not at all.
I was living near Valentino's. My grandmother's my people's from by Northeast Market. Spent many a Friday night with K Swift on the radio and pork chop getting busy.
Yeah,
like I spent plenty of night hearing them sirens go and watching the Chrysler 300 coming through like it was a Maybach. Like I spent plenty of nights outside. So it's like when I sit with that, it's like I don't want to go back to that, and I don't want people to have to be subjected to this different level of paranoia that exists in that space. Because it was love. Of course, like, You know, having the gummies, the now latest,
Yeah.
having the huggy juices, the
Yeah, all of it.
it's awesome, but it's like what was on the back end was a lot of police brutality, a lot of
I
banking
definitely.
people.
So I'm the youngest of 9. I have 6 brothers.
Mm,
And so I've seen my experiences with the police is through my brothers. Because as Black women from Baltimore, we don't have the same experience that men have with police. You know what I mean? Even though, but being that close to my brothers and living in the same household, I definitely had, like, I remember in high school, the police kicked my brother's door in because he had like a dime bag of weed. It was wild crazy.
it's a
And
dime bag.
yeah, a dime
Like,
bag. Yeah. Like, but they thought he was like some kingpin. They came in and flipped over all of his mattresses and thought he had all this money. He had a dime bag of weed. You know what I mean? Like, so it was crazy. But yeah, I think that I appreciate these spaces, you know what I mean? But I do understand like the ski mask kid couldn't come here. But also there's a level of white privilege in that, right? But there's a level of Black privilege in there's a level of safety that I'm gonna feel in certain areas. You know what I mean? Just knowing that I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'm okay walking around here because
I blend in.
I blend in. You know what I mean? So there is a level of Black privilege in certain areas.
Yeah.
And even down to like I graduated from University of Baltimore, and there was always crime around. Like, but the people that were getting robbed were the MICA students and the white students at
Yeah,
UB.
that wasn't hip.
Yes. It's like I'm not walking. I remember one time I was walking and this girl had her laptop out. Just walking. It's like, girl, this is not
Just
John
hand it
Hopkins.
over.
Yes.
I'll take it from you. I'll take it. Like, it might not even be. This is the funny part too. People don't sit with the fact that like in these areas where crime is so prevalent, people that aren't actually broke commit crime too. So
yeah,
I say that to say
yes.
she could have got robbed by somebody from out of town that went to school there too, but because it's so popping, you just expect people to get robbed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me that MacBook.
It's very interesting because I think that so I live by Mondawmin. I don't live in like the super hood, but I live in like a area adjacent to the hood. And
Hood
I tell
adjacent.
people like
I love it.
around the corner. So, but I tell people just being funny, like I live in a good neighborhood because nobody's looking to rob poor people. Like nobody's looking to come in my house and rob me. But when I lived over east,
That's pretty. Let's see. We out here with the elements. There we go. I'm gonna come down. Keep telling about the neighborhood.
Yeah, nobody's trying to rob you in the hood, honestly. And don't get me wrong, my biggest goal, hopefully one day we'll look back on this, it's March 8th, 2023. My main goal is to get a condo downtown. That's what I want to do. Like, and I just got back from New Orleans. I went there for my birthday. It was March 5th. I'm 32. I'm very happy about it.
Does she look 32, y'all? She don't look 32. She's like 23. You know, about 22, like fresh out of college.
It ain't giving 23.
That's why I say we protect Black women. Y'all so quick to down yourself. I know a 32-year-old white woman that look 42. So your 32 is lovely.
Thank you.
And your energy is young too. So that's where it's at.
Got my young energy, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Live into it.
So I appreciate it. Honestly, I really do. But yeah, so 30, I'm really happy about 32. But one of my main goals is I want to live downtown. Like, okay, so that's what I was saying. I just got back from New Orleans. And being in New Orleans, every time I visit a city, it reminds me about how much I love my city. Honestly, like, I really do. I love Baltimore. It's nothing like our culture. New Orleans culture is amazing. Their food is amazing. But I missed home. Like, honestly. Like, I love being from the city. Like,
it's nothing like home.
It's nothing like it.
And everybody feels that way about their own culture.
They do.
That's why I'm doing this as well. You know, I gotta do a little side note every now and then. The elements are starting to talk to me. Can we ease up? But every now and then I gotta do a side note. I am doing this because everybody's allowed to love their city but us. And a lot of people come to our city from different places and love our city.
Yeah.
I've talked to dudes who from New Orleans who are like, yo, Baltimore lit. Like, I don't know why people be talking about it like this. Talk to people from Philly like, yo, I love it when I'm in B-more. I get the crab cakes. I get this and that and the other. But I had to go outside or I had to be in spaces that don't look like what we know. Because there's a lot of folks who lived in Baltimore all their life and never been to the Ravens Stadium.
Yeah.
They've never been to the BMA.
Yeah.
They've never been to the Walters Art Museum.
Absolutely.
They haven't been to these different spaces you would not know about unless you were educated. So now I say education and knowledge is a form of privilege.
It is.
You are limited by what you know.
Because education and knowledge is also it gives you exposure.
Absolutely.
So that's like, so I went to I went to Western High School. That was my first time going to like a that was like my first time going to a play. You know what I mean? At like the Hippodrome or at Everyman Theater. Like, so education gave me exposure. Also, when I went to Beachville Elementary School, I was a dancer. They had a dance team, and I was able to dance at like Morgan. You know what I mean? Like that, those places. So it gives you exposure. But even still, we have to. That exposure is very much about like us giving each other information. Like basically we're at a spot that he's never been in. You know what I mean? But I've been to several times. So it's like that sharing of information, you know what I mean? Like that connecting with other people, all of that is really important. You know what I mean? When it comes to this exposure, education, you know.
And
like
media plays such a large part.
Yeah.
That's part of why I want you in this space, because you are an educated Black woman from Baltimore, Maryland, who came up over west.
Yeah.
Beachville Elementary ain't just ain't no.
It's not.
You know what I mean? So
it's not.
we are having experiences that defy the odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based on the stat sheet of everything I listed, there's a lot of things they already put you into that you do not live within. You live outside of.
Absolutely.
So spreading awareness about possibility. It's so possible to be 32 and having your way.
Yeah.
It's so possible to come to this space and enjoy it for what it is, and not have to feel a way about yourself.
Absolutely.
It starts with healing. It starts with openness to instruction. Because I know a lot of people who went to those Everyman Theater trips who didn't understand the purpose. I know a lot of people whose life ended at high school.
Yeah.
It's like, how y'all adults? I'm like, because we are. I'm like, bro, like, this is the best part of my life. Like, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't pay me to go back to high school. Like, what are you talking about? You couldn't pay me to go back to the limits. And I recognize that, like, the world can be what it is. It can be a little uneasy. It can be a little strange. But the beautiful part is everything on this end is because of your decisions.
Yeah. Yes.
Nobody else.
That's very powerful. Everything on this end is your decision, good and bad. You know what I mean? Like good and bad, everything is your decision. And speaking about, you know, like where I come from and having limits and actually taking those limitations off, I am maybe the only person that I know from my area, like where I grew up at, that actually is like, doing something, you know what I mean, in a sense, like worth I don't want to down anyone, you know what I mean?
I'll say this: grounded, not humble. Somebody gave that to me recently. Grounded is, I know where the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And I know, and I gotta say it that way because I know where the fuck I am gives grace, gives love to everything you've accomplished. I appreciate everything I've done. I am successful.
Absolutely.
By my standard and by the others. Other people consider me successful. So I have to live within it to give them their proper due. On the other end, is ego. It's arrogance.
Yeah.
Arrogance is like, well, you just like, no. We're not saying we're better. You're not
at all.
There's
Not
no
at all.
demeaning anybody else. Like, I saw a clip with Godfrey. Like, I love Black women. I say it proudly. I love Black women. The reason I say it is because it needs to be said.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
I find issue with people taking offense to me saying I love Black women and making it to be degrading anybody else.
No, not
How
at
is
all.
my love
Not
for
at
Black
all.
women saying white women aren't awesome?
It's not at
I'm not
all.
talking about white women right now. I'm not talking about Asian
Exactly.
women. Talking about the women that raised me, the women who made space for me.
Yeah.
So like, what? That's where I'm constantly like evaluating things. Like, what are they really saying? What is their purpose? Because my purpose is saying I love Black women is exactly what I said. I have a Black daughter one day. No matter who I have it with, if it's any type of race, she'll be a Black woman.
Yeah. Absolutely.
By my standard.
Yeah.
So it's just that constant growth and gratitude. But Survivor's remorse is a big thing.
Ooh.
I just made a video
my
about that.
goodness.
Survivor's remorse and survivor's guilt.
That's a huge thing.
Shared trauma does not invite you to my blessing. Shared
No.
trauma does not invite you to my blessing.
But survivor's remorse is something that I've definitely dealt with. Like downplaying. I downplay myself to this day. You know what I mean?
I know the feeling. I know. Look, I'm a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Who healed traumas. Like
yeah.
we you on the other side. But the part is like when we sending these prayers now is like, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah.
Show me how I have to serve from this end without pouring too much out of my cup.
Yes.
Because we pouring from overflow. I say it. We pouring from overflow.
Always pour from overflow. You gotta always pour from overflow.
You coming out the cup. Pour some out the cup. I may not have the things to deal with what's on this side, where there are people belittling me, even though I have the degrees, even though I'm proven. Oh no, you're just some black publisher. You're just some young black publisher. Who are you? Why should I do business with you?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to do business with you for sure. It's sad that there's that negative misconception at the forefront.
It is.
What is that?
We do it to each other, I find.
Anti-blackness.
Yeah.
This isn't valued by most people until I bring the people that I brought into the space. But I'm not bringing you into the space to make me better. It's the goal, as I said.
Yeah.
Be aware of Silent
Books Publishing.
Silent Books Publishing. Someone has Silent Wolf Productions, and I keep mixing it to my head. Silent Books Publishing.
Silent Books Publishing. It's a self-publishing company.
Self-publishing company.
Elevating voices of Black people, all people really, but mainly Black people. Because what people don't know is that the publishing company is mainly predominantly white. You know what I mean? Like the major publishing houses. But it's like, that's I think the main thing that people gotta understand. Like when we talk about being from Baltimore and coming from certain areas, I think that like you have to understand that everybody's faking it. You know what I mean? In a sense. You know what I mean? Like everybody's faking it. Like I don't really know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like I think that's like like you started this podcast, you know what I mean? You probably were like, okay, I guess it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that like that's something that people gotta put in their back pocket. It's like the mayor, the president, the kids over there buying Starbucks, faking it. Like we're all just out here trying to figure it out. And that's like, I think that's what I always take with me. Like it's like, because a lot of times in my publishing company, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's
honestly.
the part.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I figure it out.
Do you want to do an interview today? Are you free?
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's how he
She's like,
me randomly.
Not right now. What time are you talking about? So push through. What time's available?
Yeah, like it's just honestly, that's really all it is though.
Like,
that's all it is. Yes.
You see, I also make this joke a lot. Cause the freak party generation, the go to White Moss, go to Towson, whatever the best kicks you could find, put a little fit together. Might have caught the bus, might have been out there when you weren't supposed to be. You had to leave at a certain time because there's a curfew. The MTA's not running after a certain hour. You be calling your auntie, you be calling your mama, you be calling your big cousin. Hey, can y'all come pick us up? And you can't walk home from the county.
No, from downtown, even nowhere. Like, no.
There's a different level of self-assuredness you have to be in them spaces. There's a different level of courage you have to go and talk to this girl, to go and grab that arm and say, hey, I want to dance.
Different level.
And look, you're not always getting chosen. And when you get you get rejected, be careful, because her brother might be in the room.
Anybody might be in the room.
You might get touched up.
Her homegirls might be wild.
That's the part. Her homegirl, like in Baltimore women, they'll river dance on you.
Ready cuss you out.
They ain't never been down by the riverside. They'll river dance on you. So the part that a lot of people haven't had is those lumps. The progress over perfection. I've been working on this since 2017.
Wow.
Like, I took 2 communications classes. I had to take the second one by force because I went to Georgia and they said that credit don't count from your community college. I didn't know why I was taking it, but here I am in starting podcasts with friends. we had about 7 episodes, long episodes. I'm talking Phil Flying Filth. Shout out to that person.
Okay.
Talking Phil Flying Filth. I actually shouldn't shout that person out. Phil Flying Filth. Just a lot of negativity.
Okay.
And just a lot of random things. Complaints, judgments, critiques, just goofiness didn't come out because it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Started like 2 more with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't come to fruition. Everybody said it had to be a certain way.
Okay.
We got to be in a room. We got to buy boom mics. We got to have that special arm so we can talk into it and look like the people that we see.
Yeah.
We got to go be everybody else that's doing it rather than the people we are.
Yeah.
Here I am being the person that I am with the person who has been the person that they are.
Yes.
So
yes.
a guy from a place, a gal from a place,
Yeah.
people from places do things. When you try to say, I want to be like,
Yes.
I want to be seen this way.
That's when you mess up. That's
Why are you thinking about how you seem before how you're being?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't care how you see
that's
me.
true.
I know what I'm being. So what you see is based on your interpretation. If you see 2 people with microphones having a conversation and you think this is insane, but find out later we made $1 million off this conversation, I love what you see.
Yes.
See what you see. But I'm going to be who I'll be.
Yes, exactly. The intention is the most important part. The intention behind it. And I wanted to I'm about to switch a little bit.
Oh, do you get that?
But I wanted to address this whole the thing that you said, like when young men have to like go up and talk to women. And women, women had to learn to like how to reject the guy. You had to learn how to talk to a guy. You had to, all of those things where you had to learn how to dance that wasn't a TikTok. Yes. You know what I mean? Like you
have to have some steps.
Or just like be
dance.
confident. Being confident to like you said, to have the reassurance of like, no, it's not a Uber doesn't exist. So it's like sometimes your friends, y'all meeting up, y'all don't have cell phones, or like that person, you might have a phone, their mother ain't pay their bill, whatever. Like it wasn't as like you meeting up off, you going out on faith in high school.
Faith, not sight.
Faith, not sight.
you saw him at the Western party and they get shot up. Or there's a fight and somebody spraying mace. I ain't gonna say the name. Somebody spraying mace. They mace the whole crowd.
Yeah, that's happened.
That's home with 10.
Yeah, you going out with faith. But the thing is that like that this generation is very different, and I respect them because I work with students in some capacity, but it's a level of boldness that the older generation has. You know what I mean? And like a go get itness. That's not a word, but that because of those things like that, you know what I mean? Because of things like that. Now, like even as a woman, oh my goodness, let me tell you how I know. So as a 32-year-old, right, that looks like a 23-year-old. Like the 21-year-old is going to try to talk to me, and the 41-year-old is going to try to talk to me. It's going to come from everywhere. But the dead giveaway of a young guy trying to talk to me is that he's going to ask for my Instagram.
Yeah, that's facts.
Easy.
Yeah, that's how I go too.
He's gonna ask my Instagram.
What? I'm gonna say my reason. Me personally, I asked for the Instagram because if it is my weak side. But then I'm also like, I'm building my brand too. But it's like I don't want to go right for the number. Sometimes you should definitely go right for the number if you're trying to talk to shorty.
If she over 30, go right for the number.
Yeah. Understand where you at. Understand the vibes. But I would say me personally, I asked for the Instagram because a lot of people want social proof these days, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
define social proof? What is that? That is a new word that I've never heard.
And social proof has been like, what are you doing? What do you do? Who you are?
Yeah.
And like,
what you look like on Instagram?
What you look like?
What you dress like?
What you look like? Are you moving? You have emotion. It is pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
Because some people's metrics are like, what's your follow account? Then they're like, who's liking these posts?
Yeah.
Who's liking these posts? Is it your homeboys? Is it shorties?
Yes.
Is it comments under these? So it's all these little things.
All that matters.
And it doesn't. And that's the sad part. Like it has the value that people give it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It matters. It matters until it doesn't. Meaning, like, let's say, like, I'm dating a guy and I find out he's friends with one of my friends. Of course, I gotta ask how you know this guy. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But it gets complicated when I can't build a genuine connection with you because your Instagram has already given me someone that I've calculated to be a person that you may not be. And I've recently dated this guy. Hopefully he doesn't watch this. Well, he's not gonna know. But he was completely different.
Absolutely.
On Instagram and Twitter than he was in person.
Yep.
It was on Instagram and Twitter, dragger.
Avatar.
Absolutely.
That's why I said it's problematic. I taught a tech class, and if my students are watching this, because y'all be stalking me, your digital footprint should match your personal footprint.
It should always match.
They should not be out of sync. So I am intentional about doing the things I show. And I like this concept. Let your social media be the tip of the iceberg. This will not come out right away.
Right. Yeah.
So when it does, they'll live in it how they live in it, but we've already moved on to newer parts of our life, newer meetings, more motion. People have this problem with trying to tell everything. I'll tell you what I want you to know because I dictate that part.
Yeah.
Now, in person, I have the opportunity to fulfill what I've shown. Like you said, this guy doesn't match what he's showing.
Yeah.
Then you said dragger. These dudes be quiet. They don't got no gumption. Don't open no doors.
He was the thing is that he was really in person, really nice guy. Really nice guy. You know what I mean? Honestly, I liked him in person.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
Online, it's like,
why?
Who's this guy? You know what I mean? Who is this guy that I met? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know who you are on your stories. You know what I mean? Like, the way you're talking, it was very, like, up and down. But I really came to the conclusion that he had a self-esteem issue. But I think that's what social media is, in a sense. Like, when you have that perception of who you are online and who you are in person, you're battling yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a battle of self.
Ooh.
Like, so it's like, because it's like you are both these people, but your one is your ego, like we were saying earlier, may be online, and then your real self may be in person.
No, this leans into the mental health aspect. Because I've had my own things.
Over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't need nobody.
Yeah, right.
So I've had my own moments, is what I call them, with mental health. And when it was jagged, my mind, which is the social media is just your mind.
It is.
So
it
it's
is.
like, my mind was showing it. My post didn't make no sense. I'm like, posting up chubby cheek thirst traps. Chubby cheek thirst traps.
A chubby cheek thirst trap.
I wasn't popping like I thought I was. People wouldn't let me know though, but I had the energy. See, the energy was there. So now when I post a shirtless, they're like, "You posting thirst traps?" I'm like, "Nah, I've been taking pictures like these. I just like to post these, and like I feel different about it, and you do too. So that's why you're telling me it's a thirst trap. But but it's like the part that hasn't been spoken on enough is a lot of us are depressed. A lot of us are not knowing ourselves. A lot of us are suffering from traumas we haven't healed. We are trying to work it away. I love Solange's song. I played it for them kids, and I had to make sure it was bleeped. But I tried to it away and just kept on getting. Yeah. It's true. You're not running from it.
Yeah.
Everything that it is will be what it is. And this double life thing has been so problematic because people get checked in real life by what they do on social media.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, I want you to at least come to me with something that I actually did. Like, yes, I did wear a suit to that thing. Like, that's how it really was outside. Okay.
Yeah, it's very much, you have to, it has to match. And like you said, the biggest thing that you said that struck me just now was like, a lot of people are depressed. Now, one thing, because what I find is I'm much happier when I'm off social media.
Absolutely.
Me personally, you know what I mean? Like, some people love it, you know what I mean? Like but I find that, like, I've been at events. I'll just say this once. I'm talking the weakest event. People standing around, is unorganized, is ghetto. Online the next day, pictures, event was lit, the photos they got was very, you know what I mean? Like the way they angled the pictures
brought it
and
to
things
life.
like that. Yeah, they brought it to life. And it's like, and I'm talking the people that were there and the people that put on the event. So everybody's lying. I was there. You know what I mean? I was there. And it's like this way of like not really admitting that something's bad. Or even being, oh my goodness, being in New Orleans this weekend. And me and my friends finding spaces on TikTok. And you go there and it's like, yo, the food nasty. Why you ain't say it on your TikTok? Because you so worried about your TikTok looking this way. And so now I'm going, you know what I mean?
Authenticity
Yes.
will never be denied. The world can deny it, but time will tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
people are going to check in with this space and see if it's really what we said it was.
Yeah.
And it is. It's just a little
nice.
different out here. Like,
It's
y'all,
nice,
we just been sitting here for like 40 minutes already. Is it 40 minutes? We've been outside, though. But just sitting with that. Like, I'm not, and we're all capable of doing it. Like, I'm a Pisces, so I'm a storyteller. If I tell a story, I add in details. Like, yo, the trees had like little nubs on them, like spring was on the way, and like the signs was super green and
They got lights out
effervescent.
here,
It was vibrant, man. Like, I can only imagine this at night walking through here. Nice little breeze, got your jacket creeping open, feeling like Michael Jackson, turn up your collar on your favorite winter coat. Like, I'm just that. I be thinking like that. So I got to tune it in. I gotta shrink it down and be like, okay, let's just say it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm outside. We're having a conversation. But I say all that to say, social media gives you the space to show your extravagant, imaginative side. So in that space, a lot of people take liberties that do not match the realities.
Yeah.
So I say I love Baltimore because I do. I know what's wrong with my city. I'm willing to correct things that I love. I correct my students.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just tell you, oh, you did such a good job. I said, this is good work. I love the effort. I want you to consider this moving forward. This space is good work. What I want to be considered moving forward is that y'all are isolating.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Y'all are denying the truth of the city as you're moving people in for funds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're pushing a segment of the population away from things that they've always known. What does that do to people? Depression.
Yeah.
Mental health disorders. My grandmother was moved from her house and died 2 years after she left her block that she lived on.
Wow.
Raised 12 kids in this block. Raised
Wow.
12 kids, had many grandchildren that ran up and down this street. They moved her off of her block on Chester Street in Madison.
Mm-hmm.
She was moved up to Parkville. Nice house. It wasn't her house.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I need y'all to really understand what y'all are doing with this. Let's just build up this nice space. And it's so lovely in Baltimore. Bro, you from York, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you from upstate New York. You down here because it's cheaper, but it's not about to be cheaper. You about to change the whole price of this landscape for cheaper yoga classes that'll be expensive when everybody else who's rich comes here.
Right.
So it's like, if you come into our space, come here with love and find a way to serve or give back to this community. Because the black and brown people that started this community are the reason that y'all even want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it.
So how can we so I think about that and I wonder how can we as people, because one thing I do find is that black people is not that is we're not a broke people. You know what I mean? Not at all.
No.
Like not even a little
We're very
bit.
divided.
Yeah. We definitely are not a broke people. But so how can we do these things in our own community? Like one thing that is always on my mind is what is that place? What is that? Old Town Mall?
Yes. I would love for Old Town Mall to get a revamp and it'd be ours.
Yes.
That'd be so lit.
That would be amazing. You know what I mean? Like stuff like
We
that.
came up with it first.
Yeah, we did.
Don't do that without us.
But I heard a few years ago. I know I'm on board it. I don't know how true that is.
That'd be nice. But then it's like, if y'all got it and y'all not doing nothing with it, like, and even in the slightest, like, Skateland, Putty Hill, and Orchard used to be a thing. You had to go up the top of Bel Air Road to get there, but it's like that was a thing. Like, the kids really don't got access to that, or that's not a thought. It is like the weekend was coming. We had moves. We was like, yo, you can go to the movies out Towson, you can go to the movies at White Marsh, go to the mall, walk around and get some numbers, whatever it was. You got Skateland. It was house parties. It was Chuck E. Cheese. It was a lot of outside activity.
Yeah.
The pandemic dried it up. If it was anything that I didn't know of. At the same time, it's like we got to find, and I love that you brought that up, just finding ways to bring more events to the city. Find more event spaces.
Yeah.
Like Artist Research Space. I may be saying it wrong.
I haven't heard of that.
Off of Franklin Street and another street. I think Franklin and Marlboro or something.
Okay.
But it's dope space. I saw 2 short films by Juba Productions and Felix. I don't have his last name, but Ben Mihana and Juba Productions. Dope filmmakers.
Okay.
A lot of people in the city doing things.
Yeah, I also have a film. It's called Hiding in the Walls. Award-winning film, actually. Yes. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. And the earths.
But so what was I gonna say? The basically the gentrification of the city that's going on. I wonder. So my thing is, what do we do with, right? So okay, so we have to. This is one of them. This is called a mocha conversation, where like this is a conversation that like white people can't be in. Meaning like that is even if I did build a space, there's some black people I wouldn't want in it. Meaning, and I hate to say this, I'm trying to whisper, but let me tell you a story that happened to me. I was on Pennsylvania Avenue. I was volunteering with this company. And they did a community cleanup, and then we gave out like groceries or something like that. And like they also had like food there, like chicken and fried and burgers. So they do a community cleanup. They pay all the volunteers $50 for the community cleanup. And I'm walking back to my car, and there's a man. He's eating his chips and stuff like that. He takes the plate and he throws it on the ground. So I said, and this man, he's an older man. I could tell he was on drugs. You know what I mean? Like we are on like that Pennsylvania Avenue area. So I say to him, I'm just like, hey, you want to pick that up? We just did a community cleanup. He said, you can mind your damn business. And you know what I did? I mind my damn business. But but I say that to say. I
love that you said it. Keep it.
There are, and we know, that's what I mean. These are conversations that I would not say if white people are in the room. But we as black people know that there are people that want to live in poverty. Like, it's like we came into your community, cleaned up your community, gave out groceries and food. And then you told me my damn business.
Yep. And confused about why people want to leave the city. So, and I'm saying that, and that's why it's like, it's two-sided for me. Because I do want to leave a little bit lately. And it hurts to feel that way.
I still love it. I still love the city. I can't lie. But why do you want to leave?
I had a friend just get almost robbed at an ATM.
Ooh.
By a young dude in a ski mask.
No.
So I keep joking about the ski mask.
Oh my gosh.
But like,
that's very scary.
Like,
you know
little
what I mean?
man, like, there's no understanding of what that is, right? He's just putting some bread in the ATM.
Exactly.
Young guy walk up, don't know how to rob him, which is a good thing. So young guy just confused about it. Like, he do the little passive aggressive, like, hey man, give me that. You should. What's that? What's that for? Like, what's that? You know you owe me that. Like, what? You got a ski mask on. Like, what are you talking? Like, why would you all this attention? It's like, whatever. They gotta teach him how to rob, apparently. But by the grace of God, it didn't go where it could have. The young dude is like in a populated area, grabbing on the door, trying to get him out the car after he walks away. Like, all this straight knucklehead shit is all I can call it. But quality control is very needed. Everybody's not coming. Everybody's not meant to be lifted. Because some people don't want to be. And that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Some people are fine where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
I keep coming back to this Eric Thomas thing because I love his book, UOU. But he has this video where he talks about going to go get the oil.
Okay.
He said the princesses had to go meet the princes, and they were all given a certain amount of oil. They had to walk through the night with candles and their oil.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them went to get more oil.
And some of them didn't.
Some of them kept the oil they had because there's enough oil. They ran out of oil. They couldn't find their way through the dark.
Ask them for oil.
Can I get some of your oil? Sure, dog.
Yeah.
Everybody has opportunities to go get the oil.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying live in a grounded space, not a humble space. A humble space is, oh, the stuff I did is cool. Anybody could have did it, but they didn't. Anybody could do this thing I do, but they don't.
Anybody can't.
Anybody. And it's like, no, I'm not living into that. You can do this too, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's not going to be the way I did it.
Yes, and that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Have it. So what I just say that to say, in these next coming years, we gonna have to stand on business, and I pray that I'm around to see it. I pray that the community does genuinely stand on it and protect each other, because that's nuts. There's no way I might have squatted out with him. Like, that's the type of thing that make you want to put hands on somebody.
Oh yeah.
Like, my grandmother used to sweep in front of her house. This is 807 Chester Street. And I'm giving out the address. It was a Chinese store on the corner and a corner store. It was like 2 corner stores. Liquor store, convenience store, so whatever. People grab stuff, throw it in the street. Get stuff, throw it in the street. Every morning. Even the street cleaner came. She was out there with a broom, sweeping up in front of her joint, wiping down her marble steps.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pride, respect for what she had.
Exactly.
You couldn't tell her it wasn't nothing. It was what she said it was.
Yeah.
So if you live in a neighborhood that you think is disgusting, it's your neighborhood.
Yes.
Who you on?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
that ain't nothing. Nigga, it's yours.
It's a way. It's the way we see out. It's the way some people see themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's because.
And that's the mental health.
It's a mental health. It's a programming. Because why would I see myself as less than anything? You know what I mean? Like, it's like when like as students, when students come to school and they are okay with like everything looking a mess. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like, why are you okay with this? You know what I mean? Like, why are you okay with this? Like,
I just watched some more stand up, and I didn't get to finish it, but she made this joke about I don't like free stuff. Cause every time I get something free, they treat me like ish. Like, yeah, facts.
Yeah.
People who are providing free service treat you poorly, and people receiving free service treat the service poorly.
Yeah.
It's like free. It's no value to it.
Yeah. I even had to learn that in my business. Like, so when I first started my business, I was charging too low. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, and I didn't know that because I didn't understand the work that I had to put in, or the other people that I have to pay. And I learned that, like, your worst clients are going to be your lowest paying clients. The most annoying clients are like, I can't explain it. You know,
but look, that's why I haven't called you back yet, because I'm not gonna waste your time. It's okay. Look, but I'm serious. I'm bringing it up to say, on just joint, don't waste Black professionals' time. Yeah. Because it tells them what you think of what they provide. Yeah. And then it makes it harder for us to provide services in community. Mm-hmm. Because when I'm telling you my yoga class is $30 an hour. Yeah. And that's for one person. What you mean that? Like, bro, go get a gym membership then. Like, leave me alone. Yeah. Like, I'm actively not teaching because of that. Because I've recognized that people don't understand what yoga's worth. I got a contract, and somebody wanted me to provide a service. They said they want me to do 2 sessions. They were going to pay me. They wanted to pay me $40 to $60 an hour. Right.
Okay.
The contract was pre-written to someone else for $120.
How do you know that?
I just saw it. It was pre-written. They sent me a contract that they didn't update.
You're kidding me.
Serious. So by the grace of God,
wow.
I've seen behind the door. The contract's pre-written for $120, right?
Wow.
But another instructor, not for the space.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
That's already going to give them probably $350 for what's being provided, right? So not for the space. Again, that's probably going to give them way more than what the person's offering me. That's contracting it out to me. So I'm like, bet. I don't know. I'm thinking 80. Just play. I didn't ask for the 120. I'm thinking 80 because I'm fresh and ain't mine. Yeah. But this is the problem with you thinking you're just fresh. You're new to this.
Yes.
I'm a fucking value. I'm a young Black male from Baltimore, Maryland, with whatever little trendy thing they want to assign to it that does power yoga, vinyasa, and restorative.
And you know what you're doing.
And I know what I'm doing. I'm proven. Right? So with that being said.
And on top of that, I'm sorry, but you're one of one. That makes a huge difference.
That's why I'm not outside no more. Because I'm teaching this class for $15. What? And I'm begging you to come?
Exactly. No.
You jumping in my DM. Like, I've also had this. Yo, I'm trying to work out. Cool. My consultation's $25 an hour. Huh? I don't want to just talk to you about what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, my time is valuable, and $25 is not equivalent to the value of my time. Yeah. So if you can't meet that, hey, I'm trying to get on the podcast. Bet $60.
Yeah.
What do? What are we talking about? With love. I don't know you.
Exactly.
This isn't tea time. This is a black entrepreneur who has a publishing company.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say small, but I'm gonna say a publishing company.
Yeah, thank you.
You're at the helm of an awesome thing.
Thank you.
This
I
is
appreciate that.
and this is why it's like speak life over things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, he got them little shoes on.
Yeah.
I got these shoes. I put
Yeah.
bread on. You understand? These clean too.
Yeah.
And I kept them up. You dig? Like
Right.
if we can do it with meaningless things, right? Look at my car. We can do it with that. Put that same respect on this degree I got.
Mm-hmm.
Put that same respect on the 3 years I did in the school system without a degree.
Yeah.
Put that same respect on the energy we provide, because y'all know the value of it. That's why y'all beg for it back.
Yeah.
That's why you asking for that shortcut, because you know if you go outside, they're gonna charge you more than what you charging.
Exactly.
So don't play with it.
Yeah.
Don't play with it.
You have to charge. You have to charge your worth. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, and sometimes a lot of people, I find, and I do this too, we're charging less than our worth. Even so there's a predominantly white company that does the same thing that I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I won't say their name. But our prices start at, well, for a full service, let's say like you getting a book, cover design, layout, editing. Right now we're starting at $2,500, right? This company starts at $6,000.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
They're $1 million company. Mm-hmm. And this is March 8th, 2023. Don't catch me next year, because that's not going to be my same price.
Know it.
Meaning, like, I had to understand, like, and I said this to my partner. I said, we got to figure out why we can't charge that. You know what I mean? We got to figure out what we're doing that they're doing besides our skin color.
This the part. Only thing you can do is be. Shout out to True from True Relations. Yes, I'm making a plug. Only thing you can do is be.
Yeah.
You are what you show yourself to be.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you, hey, I could go for 15, I'm saying I'm not valuable.
Yes, exactly.
Especially if I'm doing something that's high value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not of the high value, all that weird stuff. But it's like we have value.
Yes.
Live into it.
Yeah.
Just because, and that's part of survivor's remorse. That's back to what I'm saying with survivor's remorse.
It is.
Survivor's
Absolutely.
remorse comes packaged with, this ain't that heavy, because, I mean, everybody else deserve it too.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I got this off luck. But you're denying the late nights reading them books, them research papers.
I have a master's degree in what I do.
Them professors you had to talk to after midterm to make sure the grade was what it had to be.
All of it.
The dues you had to pay to graduate. Like, I love it. I love it when I keep coming back to Eric Charles because he has so many dope videos. But he said something about I was so happy one time and I congratulated. I was thanking my professor for my 4.0. Said, what you thanking me for?
Right.
You earned it.
Yeah.
No, but you earned it.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
And it's that back seat. It's taking a back seat to your your leadership. Don't take the back seat. We sitting in front like, yes, I'm driving.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna take everything that come with it. Like, it's gonna be negativity.
Yes.
You're not gonna avoid it.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be about, why she charge so much? Oh, that publishing really wasn't worth it anyway. You're gonna get negative reviews.
Oh my goodness. And what you gotta understand is two things. The first people that told me that I charged too much were my friends. Y'all, you gotta understand that people, when they're this close to you, they don't see you.
Nope.
It was maybe people who saw me from afar that were like one time I had this client and I told her I charged her $3,000. I'm being very transparent. She literally was on a consultation. She breathed out and was like, I thought it was gonna be more. I said, what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? But it's like, but like I said, the people, and I'm still friends with these people. No offense to them. I love my friends. Honestly, they did to me. But you got to know that Beyonce said this. She said that the people around her forget that she's Beyonce.
That's the part.
And that's Beyonce.
They know your shadow.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You cannot only have people that know your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
My shadow has to be known because it has some things that have to be corrected.
Yeah, exactly.
So I shine brighter in the light.
Exactly.
But do not keep me at the level of my shadow.
There. Yes.
Because now you're telling me that's all I am.
Mm-hmm.
You're denying that the world said, yo, you command the classroom.
Yeah.
Yo, you like do great yoga classes.
Mm-hmm.
It's people that had no problem paying for the yoga.
Absolutely.
Then it's people that's like, yo, I'm so glad you graduated. Let me get a class. For what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I tell you, it's hilarious because people when they're that, like you said, when they're that close to you,
Yeah.
and they can touch you and they see you day to day, they don't understand what's going on because you
Not
can't
at
explain
all.
everything.
Not at all.
But the work that goes into this, like, even this, I keep coming back to this right here. It's not light work.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
by any standard. But a lot of people, oh, he's just doing his thing. Like, I ain't gonna get too personal, but he's just doing his thing.
Mhm.
And I need people to really understand that it's power in media.
Very
That is
powerful.
why it's $1 billion industry.
Mhm.
That Starbucks sign is not by accident. It's not called Starbucks by accident.
Yeah.
There's not a mermaid looking thing on it by accident.
None of it.
Everything is intentional.
Yeah.
That Ford symbol you see is very intentional.
Mhm.
There's a lot of history behind the etymology.
Yeah.
The words are important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So as we sit with all of that and just give thanks for it, like I just, I'm brilliant. But I've had some moments because the sun just brings a different level of emotion out of me. You know,
This is a beautiful day.
her
for
glowing,
sure.
you know, effervescent. You're just using big words. I like to say effervescent. Or
Effervescent.
effervescent.
Real
Effervescence.
fancy.
The
Real fancy.
effervescence.
Yes.
You know, just find new words every day. So where you from? Baltimore.
Yes.
Baltimore.
You guys say
Yeah,
it
for
too.
real.
Yes.
What it do? You're like, yeah, you're from there? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I actually am.
I love it actually.
I love when people from the city don't believe I'm from. Like, yeah, I'm putting it
Yeah.
on good then.
Mhm. No, yeah, I get it all the
It's like-
time. I get it all the time.
Say, for real, you from?
Especially like in schools or from students. I get it
Yeah.
all the time. I love it though. I love it. I love the fact that I came up. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's a good feeling.
so
It's
good.
a really good feeling. Honestly. It
And
really is.
it's a daily elevation. It's better than I was.
Absolutely.
Not better than you.
Yeah.
Not better than anyone
You see, that's
else.
We
Better
are
than I
all-
was.
People, we have to get to a space where we are out, where you are your only competition. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing about me. Like, I only want to be, I'm looking at pictures. So I just turned 32 Sunday. I was looking at pictures of myself at 31. And it was like at my business when I was 31. I'm my only competition. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
indeed.
like I only can be better than me. And next year, I pray that I'm not in the same space. I mean, I'm sure I won't be. I'm really climbing the ladder. You know what I mean? I have a lot of confidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, like, I'm a very quiet confidence. You know what I mean? Like, I go into any room. Like, even somebody asked me, like, why you got your full name on Instagram? It's Angel King Wilson, by the way.
Because that's
But
your,
it's
that's
yeah,
business.
but you know, a lot of people have just like, you know, a nickname or something like that, or like, you know, alias or like pretty girl, this. And it's like, no. Because I really stand on Angel King Wilson. Like, I really believe I am someone. You know what I
You
mean?
are a
Like,
business. You
yes,
are
absolutely.
a brand. All of us are. People with those names that you, pretty girl, whatever. It's like, that's your business.
Yeah, it
what
is.
you
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
is whatever it is. Like,
Yeah, it
the sad
is.
part is, like, people don't realize that's what social media tells me more than
Mhm.
anything. I
Yeah.
want to see your social, so I got a concept of what you're interested in.
Mhm.
Like, I recently had this conversation with my uncle, and I was just like, a lot of people find it problematic when you ask them what they do. Like, why you always want to talk about what you do?
Yeah,
Why you always want to talk
yeah.
about work?
Uh-huh.
Because that's what I love. I
Yeah.
love what I do.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to be around nobody who don't love what they
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like, oh, I just work at Social Security. Cool. Peace.
You know, but you know
Like,
what though? We can talk about that
Like, what?
because I just work at a lot of
like,
yes,
what?
there's a lot of the older generation work at Social Security.
No offense. Get your bag and
Yeah.
get that retirement. Get busy.
Get the retirement for sure. I think everybody at my church works at Social Security. But
they had a hiring fair. Everybody.
yes,
We're
everybody
straight
went.
from Douglas. To
That's what happened. But even like down to what you're saying, I have a hard time answering that question.
What do you do?
Yeah, because it's okay. So I used to be a professor, right?
Mm.
So I used to be an adjunct professor at BCCC, and so that title, people would go crazy. Like, my friends, she do this. Da-da-da. It's like, y'all stop. And I actually like even I don't go to church anymore. But when I used to go to the church, and that's when I first started working there back in 2019. That's when I became a professor. Everybody at my church, professor this, professor that, and I actually had to ask someone like, please stop calling me that, because if I decide to be a garbage person, I want the same respect. You know what I mean? I want the same respect. I want you to see me in the same light. But now that I am completely self-employed, like everything that I do is, I have my publishing company. I do public speaking. I have my documentary. You know what I mean? And most of my income comes from that. And so when I am asked, what do you do? Or I say I have a publishing company, but I'm not saying it with pride. I'm being honest, because I understood what that was like to have that title previously. And I know that when people hear me having my own publishing company, they're not hearing. You know what I mean? Like they're not hearing like success. You know what I mean? They're not hearing. They don't know silent
No,
books publishing.
this is why I do it, and I'll give it. My perspective has been, if I tell you what I do, your reaction tells me who you are.
I love
That's
that.
why I want to lead with what I do.
I love that.
I lead with what I do, not so that I'm like, hey, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm flirting, like, hey, I'm a yoga instructor. But then there's other times where I'm like, I'm a yoga instructor, and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, oh, wait, yeah, yoga, you're not going to make any money doing that. So you don't value what I do. Bet. Bye.
Yeah.
And my value to you lies in what I do. That's why I'm like, I'm throwing it out there because it's like, okay, if I'm telling you what I do, this is what I do. This is part of who I am.
Yeah.
I don't do things that aren't me. So I make music. I have a podcast. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm an educator. When I was telling people, I'm a teacher. Oh, that's so cool. You're a teacher. I love teachers. What do you love about teachers? Because I would love for you to show up at my school and help out in some type of way, volunteer some time.
No.
Oh, no, I ain't got that.
Yeah.
So you don't value it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you got kids. Where your kids go to school? I don't even know nothing about school. You don't value it. I love to find out who they are through those types of conversations.
That's true.
Because again, it's like, back to what I said, like, oh, where you work at? Man, I'm just holding it down. All right, bet. I was just holding it down. I was at Five Guys. I was in the basement of the library putting books in crates, getting yelled at by some dude. And then I got promoted. It was like a really wild thing. But like, I've had these experiences where like, I'm literally out the mud. My homeboy, he's joking. He joked with me like, yo, I'm proud of you because I said we had to do it this way and you didn't took it to the car. Like I said, we had to have a special setup, get a special set. We had to buy some space to be in. Like he wanted to rent out an office, all of this.
No.
Oh,
my goodness, not at all.
Nah. So I literally was just tucked away like, how do I just be me?
Yeah.
And everything has been, how do I just be me?
Yeah.
Yoga has, how do I just be me? Music has been, how do I just be me? I'm at the point where I want to put out music that I don't care about the fact that you heard.
That's what you gotta be. That's what you honestly. That's what you gotta be.
I wish that for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't give a if you watch this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I love to do it.
Yeah.
That's what, like, if I'm doing yoga, if I break down and do my yoga right now, it has nothing to do with anybody who will ever walk through this space.
Yeah. It's about you.
Watch it.
Yeah. That's the way to be, honestly. And the one thing that you said that's very important, and the reason why we gotta really get to it as Black people and people in these spaces is because youth don't understand, especially Black youth, don't understand the money in other areas of life, like yoga instruction, or when I was too scared in undergrad. I always love writing. I always love reading. I didn't major in English because I thought there was no money in it. Do you know how many millionaires there are that are writers?
When I tell you,
you know what I mean, like
when I tell you, yoga is one of the fastest growing businesses and one of the most expansive, and it's not like boxy. Like if I'm a yoga instructor, that is never all I have to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I want to go back to law school, what's stopping me?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
This is where, so I'm all about keeping my options open. If I work at an office job, that's probably all I'm doing. I had a friend who told me he was in banking and he's like, they said he couldn't have any other sources of income. So they set his salary at whatever it was, but there was no room for outside growth.
That's crazy.
It's a very real reality, though.
Yeah, that's
It's people in tech right now whose schedule, like, I love how tech has become what it is because it's such a governmental thing. Like, it's so many agendas behind tech being a booming thing. But I love how they've created these super systems. They got like the special lounge and the playgrounds and everything to keep you on base.
Oh, wow.
Do this work. Get back to your desk, which is $1,000 coffee. Like, but hey, we spending all this money on it, but we really need this done though.
Yeah.
So it's like people are showing what their purposes are. And all the extras, we really prioritize equity. We really prioritize helping people. I love these jokes that are coming out from like Marlon Wayans and Chris Rock has some. I don't agree with everything being said because y'all be weird. But I'm just saying, like, I thought it was funny when they were like, you're drawing a line at bread now. Like my money is where you divide me. Because you're going to have some money to get up in some of these spots. In some of these spots, they let you use the bathroom unless you buy something.
yeah, yeah.
And the price point start at $7.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go to I like raw pure juice or whatever.
Oh yeah, we can go over there.
Yeah, I like pure raw juice.
But that's started very early because the other day, oh my goodness, even Starbucks, right? I'm sorry, Starbucks. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. They asked me what size do you
Real
want.
reviews.
I said a large because I don't understand y'all language. That's what I just said in there. Because the last time I was there, I asked for a grande and they gave me a small cup. And I'm like, yo, what is Venti Grande?
Venti Grande. 20 Grande. Venti, I think it's 20. But is that Italian or Spanish? I like the language, but that's unnecessary.
But you understand how intimidating that is. My first time in Starbucks, very intimidated.
Absolutely.
What do you mean? What are you asking me right now?
Absolutely.
I want to, you know what I mean? So now, like I said, now me being me and understand a large, you know what the fuck I'm saying? This is Baltimore. Stop
This
playing
was
with me.
funny though. I've seen people who have privilege deny all the extra cultural fluff. And I say that in they'll go to the Mexican restaurant. They'll go to these different spaces and say, I want a quesadilla. Yeah. I've seen like quesadilla. I want to what's man, just bring me some shrimp and cheese, man. Like I'm like they get away with it because of the privilege. But like I said, everybody's allowed to do things that we're not. Yeah. Everybody's allowed to do it in a way where there's no pushback.
Yeah.
Like I have another individual who is very educated on permaculture.
Okay.
Very educated on agricultural solutions, and has studied with great minds. Is the CEO, like he's a leader of a board and still getting pushback because he's a black man that lives in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
If he decided to move out to one of them special counties, got hoity-toity, maybe a white wife, and talked about agriculture, he'd be the next big thing.
Yeah.
He'd be the one that they want to show.
Absolutely.
He'd be running for president. But the problem is, they don't value us, but that don't mean we shouldn't. Let them feel how they feel, but please don't bring it to our own.
Yeah.
We gotta, I'm starting on my thing. We gotta celebrate each other.
Yeah.
We gotta celebrate each other, give out flowers, and do good business. Do good business.
Do good business.
Do great business.
Listen, black people, we gotta get that together, y'all.
And good business is on both ends. Good business is not one-sided. Because you cannot walk into a black business and come in there with your little funky attitude and give a bad review because they didn't work in a way that, you don't bring that attitude to the Starbucks. Exactly. And if you do, you get a security card on you and the police. And so we'll be on.
Yeah. Yeah. And be understanding of some businesses because a lot of black businesses, their resources are limited.
Yes.
So if you're a customer and you got to wait, then you got to wait. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, if you got to like wait for a timeline of something or order is coming in and it's not, you upset that it's coming as quick as with something you order from Walmart. It's like I know people who sell clothes. You know what I mean? But let's say they have a large order, they're on their own. You know what I mean? Like meaning like give people, like as a customer, give people grace, but also as a business owner, you have to also communicate with your customers. You know what I mean? Like it's all very much, but we do have to do it in a way that is different because some of us our resources are limited. You know what I mean? Like, and but you gotta be like business. I want to get, like I tell my team, and I joke about this, my partner, Destiny Williams. I always say I want to be the Chick-fil-A of self-publishing. Like, and that's just what I say because I need our business to be like top tier. I want people to think about Silent Books Publishing and be like, yo.
They get busy.
Yes. They professional. They nice. We still working on it. Honestly, we still working on it. But it's something like, that's my goal though.
But that's the intention. And I keep coming back to intention because good intention doesn't mean good outcome. But a good intention consistently will bring good outcomes.
Absolutely.
If your intention changes because if your intention changes because the outcome isn't showing what you like you got great intention walking up the women at the party. I'm coming back to that because I'm moving. You got great intention.
Great intention.
Your outcomes don't always
walking up to the party, getting the Instagram number.
Let me get the Instagram. And if you find out your Instagram ain't having emotion that it deserves, and you whack. So she don't want to get Instagram. She just say she don't got Instagram. Oh, you don't got Instagram?
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Or she dodging Instagram because dudes like you asking for Instagram. So you can have great intention, but get a poor outcome. But as you continue to work on yourself and develop yourself, hi friend.
Right.
As you continue to work on yourself and develop yourself, your outcomes will change.
Absolutely.
Right? And consistency is grounded in progress over perfection. Like, this was not perfect at the onset, right? People was like, not another podcast. One. I think the first video didn't get no likes.
Oh,
like, the
wow.
first video was just like, and people have gone back since then and watched it and liked it and
that
commented.
happens, though. Yeah.
Right? But it's interesting, again, to like lean into these things I've always said, but now I'm living them.
Yeah.
So I'm always been of the understanding is my first attempt will not be my last.
Absolutely.
My first attempt does not fully define me. If you let that define me, I know who you are. Again, I keep saying it, like, I put out one tape called Booming Out the Basement. Made all the beats and rapped in a monotone voice. Had no performance ability on it, but I love what I was saying. I love what it represented. I love the fact that I did it, right? These are the different things I took away. I was able to criticize it myself. Other people criticize it in a way that was like one of my homies, he said, I don't know why you paid for that. You should have kept your money. I paid to get a mix. He was like, yo, yeah, that was trash. Like, cool. It is what it is. But like,
it is.
I told you what it represented to me, and you just trash to you. So okay. So I know who not to tell when things are going bad. But it's just sitting with continual efforts. So after that tape, I had a new concept of how to do it moving forward. I didn't pay that much to get the next songs done.
Yeah.
I did more singles rather than big projects. Worked my way up to a tape called Lookout with my brother Carter God, who's a dope MC. And that tape has been loved by people.
Nice.
In secret.
In secret.
Because a lot of people be hating. But it was a love tape. We did it in a way that was very intentional. It was 3 years after the first tape. So it was a lot of growth since then. It was actually done a year and a half after the first tape. But we had so many modifications and different things. So 2018 to about 2020, that tape was just about done in 2020. Most of the concepts and everything together, 21, I think it dropped.
Okay.
I'm working on something new, but just sitting with like evolution.
Yeah.
This podcast, these waves, the six pack didn't come overnight. You understand? It was a pudgy belly. I was doing a 6-month transformation. Put up the joint with the shirt off, brothers. I said, I'm trying to be like an R&B singer in a couple years with the R&B body. You know, brother say I look like Usher's lazy cousin Paul Bear, and I was like, that's a good line, but it's like he can't say that now.
Yeah.
I look like Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl. I look like a guy from a place. So I want y'all to never quit, never stop, never stopping, and never say never. Just keep getting better.
Yeah, seriously.
We gonna have to go to Couples Tea, another plug. They're near Vegan Juiceology on Howard Street. And
I've never heard of that.
And now you do. Now you know. Couples Tea.
I've never heard of it.
Is on Howard Street. There's vinyls and pages next to it. Black-owned business.
Nice.
They got scones and things like that. I ain't
Never
gonna
heard
curse.
of it,
I'm gonna put this on the gram to like, make a special announcement. Couples Tea. Vinyls and pages. At Charm City Creamery. Not Charm City Creamery, but there's an ice cream shop, a vegan ice cream spot, and then Vegan Juiceology. But it's all on one strip by Howard Street.
Never heard of it.
But it's dope, and I'll put you on. See, this is why we inform each other.
Exactly.
It's how we build businesses. This is how we build community.
Yes.
Because a lot of our black businesses in the city are very spread out.
Yeah.
And a lot of our black creators are very spread out.
Yes.
How do we find a way to bring the unity? And that's a special word in community.
Yes, and there's also down here, so this is the Rotunda.
Yes.
So these two, I don't know what they're called, but they're available. Like, you can rent these, like how that person is renting Rita's. It used to be a black-owned, like, that's why it was called She Shed. Something was over there. But like, let's say you sold vegan products, you know what I mean, start right there. You know what I mean? So it is available. They do give some availability to us, but like, you ain't gonna have a big shop unless you like pay this rent.
Yeah.
But like, it is available, like if you are looking for a space.
And you know what? I'm speaking life over it. We can buy back our blocks.
Absolutely.
We can buy back our city. We can have a solid stake in this. Speaking life over it.
Absolutely.
Baltimore has a lot of opportunities. I hope you're involved in getting into some of these.
Yeah.
And
we have to.
This is our city.
Yeah.
I love, like, when you said I go other places, but I love home.
I love home. Like I lived in I didn't live well. I was in France for 2 months, right, working. Right out of college, I got an internship. When I say I was homesick, forget the food, forget the nice living I was doing. I came home, I seen somebody leaning on North Avenue, and I was like,
almost cracked the tip.
yes,
You about to
I
go
can
here?
kiss the ground out this motherfucker. I love home. Like honestly, I love home. Like, and I've been a lot of places, but it's nothing like. And this is for everybody, like you said, it's nothing like where you're from.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's really not. Like people ask me all the time, why you still here? Because they understand if I moved out the city, I could probably, if I lived in New York, if I lived in LA, I could probably take my publishing places high. But I believe that my work here isn't done. You know what I mean? It's
I feel
something,
you.
and that's something that we could like, you know, going back to like bringing it full circle. You gotta love your city, and you gotta trust. Like I believe in God, and for me, you gotta trust what you know. You know what I mean? Like that keeps me going. Like honestly.
And I look at going out of the city as missions to bring things back.
Yeah.
Like my father is in the military. So he made me understand what traveling was. Went to Germany in like 5th grade.
Wow.
Very random experience for a kid from East Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right? So like 10, 11, I always get the numbers. I get the ages wrong. I just be in my head. But I went there young. That's all I'm saying. I went to a space that was completely different. Like Guten Tag, Auf Wiedersehen, hello.
Wow.
This is what they walk around saying. Good day, goodbye, hello. Like, it was completely different. But it opened up my mind. So, postcards. What's cool here? What's cool here that can come back to where I'm from and give people light? This wind is hurting me. But what is cool there that we need to? I've been in Philly. So we can bring that back to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I've been in New York. I'm like, we can bring that back to Baltimore in a way that honors what we already have.
Yeah.
We got crab cakes and our cheesesteaks be hitting. No disrespect to Philly. I can say I love a Baltimore cheesesteak and not disrespect Philly. I can say I love our chicken boxes, even though I'm not eating them no more. I can still dream about what I used to have.
I love Baltimore food.
Shout out to Maybell's. There's a food truck out in Walmart's parking lot in Towson that's vegan, and they had a mushroom chicken box. It was mushroom.
Really?
I gotta go back and get that again.
A
How you
mushroom
doing, bro?
chicken box.
I like your outfit. I'm sorry, yo. I play a lot. How you doing, man?
Look.
He's so bewildered. But it is a mushroom chicken box.
That's insane.
Mushroom
That
chicken
sounds
box.
delicious, though.
It was awesome.
That sounds delicious.
I would love for you to experience that.
Yeah,
You got, do
I'm
that.
gonna get a mushroom chicken
do that
box
for
for
yourself.
sure. For sure.
I want to say hi to this little guy from a place. Hi, guy from a place. I'm sorry, Angel.
Oh, no.
So, Angel,
Mhm.
what is the greatest advice you received in your journey?
On my journey, some of the greatest advice I've ever gotten is, if you're going through hell, keep going. And that was something that, but when you say, the reason that this question kind of tripped me up is because you said on your journey. So I'm thinking of my journey as a publisher, you know what I mean? But that I got that advice when I was going through a really bad breakup. And I like couldn't see the light of day. It was like I was like going through life, but I was like, yo, like I want to be in bed. So when someone said if you're going through hell, keep going, and like into feel like I wish happiness for everyone. You know what I mean? Even when we talk about everyone being depressed. So it's like if you're going through hell, keep going. Like if you're feeling depressed, keep going, because yo, that is happiness out here to hold. You know what I mean? Like it really is.
The sun is coming back out.
Yes, it
The
is.
storm will end.
Yes.
This is the magical part. You have a sense of who everybody was when the storm was going on. And I said that to Michelle when we had our podcast. You have a sense of who everybody was when you were in hell.
Yes.
Because they will show back up when the sun is out.
Mm-hmm.
You know who they are. And treat them accordingly.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Forgive.
Forgive.
Don't
yes.
forget.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is also for yourself. Forgive yourself for being in a space where you were foolish. Forgive
Yes,
yourself
you gotta
for
forgive
being
yourself.
in a space
Yeah.
where you had to go through hell.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, and
but
it's all
needed.
like, and that's like back to you where it's all a part of your journey. You know what I mean? That's like you gotta understand that like, oh, life is such a journey, and if you just take it day by day, it's so beautiful, and you never know what your journey holds. Like this wasn't planned. You know what I mean? It's just, but I just got back from New Orleans yesterday. I had some emails to send today. I got a free day. Why not?
Cause you had a great time.
Yeah, seriously, you
Yes.
gotta let life take you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta let life take you. So, but what's the best advice you ever got?
Ooh,
I'm the podcast host now.
I got advice. It's similar. And I love The Alchemist. I'm just thinking of this
Okay,
book
the
a
book.
lot.
Okay, yeah,
So it's just like that constant thing of be where you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Like Santiago's like going to different places. He's
Yeah.
never where he is.
Yeah.
He's always at the treasure. He gets to the treasure. He's finally there. It's like, bro, you had
It's always been a treasure. Yeah, like
yeah,
that.
you had
Yeah.
Fatima,
I
you
didn't-
had all these you had motion in all these spaces.
I didn't finish reading. I didn't finish reading The Alchemist. But I think if that's the book that I think it is, I remember when I was reading that. Is that the book where like they talk about like eating really slow? Is that the book? I don't know. I might not be. It might
Now,
be
I gotta
right,
brush
but-
up on it. It's been a while since I read
Okay.
it, but I thought I kept that one concept because when I finished reading it, it was at the point where I was going through it.
Yeah.
Now I took it the wrong way. I was like, I gotta double down on this music. I gotta go do this thing this way, and I completely missed service. I completely missed intention. I completely missed like some integral parts that I was able to pick up
Yeah.
as I fell again.
Yeah.
Because it was like it's just been a constant journey, but
Like the treasure is the journey though.
the
You know what
treasure
I
is
mean?
the
Like
journey.
seriously, it
That's the
really
part.
is. Yeah.
This is the treasure.
Yes.
This is the reward.
Yeah.
And that's what like even Whistle While You Work. Right? Whistle While You Work, I read that in Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, 50 Cent. But like he was just like, bro, I do a job I love. It's a job though. It's definitely work.
Yeah.
Like I won't deny that I gotta be up at this time. I gotta meet these expectations. I'm intentional about these different things.
Yeah.
But it's a job I love. If you're not doing something you have any love for, why are you doing it?
Yeah. Seriously.
And it shows. So
it shows so
it shows.
much.
So
It
it's
shows
like
so much. Yeah.
it
does.
This has been uncertain. This has been a space that is still developing and growing. But it's not limited. I could take this into a studio.
Yeah.
Like easily, right? I can keep doing it the way I'm doing it. It's no problem, right? That all of that is self-imposed.
Yeah.
And I'm not imposing any of that over myself. So
Yeah.
as I always say, like, be your best supporter. Be your be the one who loves you the hardest.
Yes.
Last thing I'll say.
Okay.
There's only two sources you'll get unconditional love from. Yourself and God.
Absolutely.
Never forget that. Live into that. Because there's the expectation that parents, family, whoever it may be is supposed to love me unconditionally. Yourself and God.
That's it. Yeah.
One day made better is many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that that's unfair. The joys I've been given are best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. I'm a guy from place, Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. I'm here with
Angel King Wilson. I am
CEO.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. CEO of Silent Books Publishing. I'm also an author. I have a book called Am I Doing This Right? I'm a filmmaker, and my film is Hiding in the Walls. My film and my book are both award-winning pieces. I am also a public speaker. You can find me on Instagram at Angel King Wilson.
Don't forget it.
And like, I love Baltimore. That's my
Yeah.
takeaway. I love it here, y'all. I really do.
Yes.
I really do.
And I love my city. Ask about me, and I bet they know me. For Bali.
I miss two-stepping. It's too much. It's too much TikToking.
I be feeling so awkward two-stepping sometimes.
Yeah, it's
you know?
definitely giving old. It's definitely giving
Yeah.
old school. for
But
sure.
I love it though. I love to honor what we are.
Yeah, I love it.
But
This guy in New Orleans said, "Don't y'all listen to a lot of DMX?" I said, "What?"
what year was you in Baltimore?
That's what I said. I said, "Hold up, yo, don't y'all love DMX up there?" I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And that's a forceful thing too. Like that's one of the things. Like I'm trying to holler and I'm just saying anything.
Yes. It's like, hold up, what? Who?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Stop. No.
Yeah.
Hold up.
It's like,
Shout
no,
out
that's not
DMX.
us. That's the recipes. But
Yeah.
no, that's not us. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Yeah.
But yeah,
But
for
thank
sure.
you so much for having me.
Thank you
so much. Yeah.
Thank you for being in the space and sharing your wisdom, sharing your experiences, and
Yes, absolutely.
hope to do this again at Couples Tea. You gotta get that sponsor. I love y'all.
I never heard of it. Well,
Bang bang.
thank you.
Yeah. We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back, gotta move on. Gotta move forward, corrections given and accept the living. Still brings pain, even when you're moving with the best.